We are always trying to find you guys the nicest motor coaches in the world, and today it is an honor to be here at Millennium Luxury Coaches with Nelson Figueroa, president of Millennium. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Andrew, for being here. Thank you to your followers and all the comments from the last video. We really appreciate it. That's a Millennium first, and that's a Millennium only, exclusive.
I have not seen that in a motorhome yet. First to do it here at Millennium.
You got it. And again, Veterans Day, thanks to all the veterans out there.
Well, thank you for your service as well. United States Army?
Yeah, 100% Army, 5 years. I was a very young man, very grateful to the service to my country. Third generation Army.
I believe you got involved in aviation while you were serving as well?
Yep, the largest Air Force in the world is the U.S. Army. I was from the beginning. I spent 5 years in U.S. Army aviation. My last 3 years were with special operations. So I was working with all kinds of great electronics and latest night flying capabilities.
Well, it's been really awesome to watch what you've done in the luxury motor coach industry. I know Millennium is celebrating 25 years in business now, so congratulations on that.
Thank you. You know, it's amazing to go have somebody like you and walk around and show you where 25 years have brought us. I just have an amazing team and an amazing partner in my wife, and a team that supports me and follows the dream and makes it happen every day.
Well, we've been about everywhere in the luxury motor coach industry, and I've been excited today. You've done some custom stuff we've never seen before in any other Prevost motor coach, and you've also done some different floor plans than what we're seeing, but I think you've got a couple of your latest and greatest here that you may be able to show us around a little bit.
Oh, I would love to. This is what we're all about. We're that cookie cutter and that production line mentality, even though it does exist in the Class A world and some of it in the Prevost world. I'm all about listening to my customer and giving them what they want, giving them that feel that they walk in the coach and they go, that's what we were looking for.
And I think the viewers out there are going to feel that when they see the insides of these couple coaches we're going to look at here in a moment, but you're also doing some cool stuff on the exteriors here. Can you show us a little bit of the exterior? And we've got 3 late model coaches lined up here. What's the story with these 3 coaches?
The lighter exteriors are very popular, but they all have a story. So in this particular coach, we wanted to embrace some of the new blues and Lamborghini blues, the tri-coats, the candies, using a lot of ice pearls and things like that. So this coach represents some of that, right? So when we go on to the next one, this one was a custom build coach. You'll see some very heavy purples and blues.
Got that perforated vinyl over the windows. They're doing some really cool designs here. They've really stepped it up recently.
And this coach is the customer. This is his 4th Millennium. And every coach that he's owned from us has some kind of purple. He's a Mardi Gras nut. And basically he's one of the members of one of the big crews that goes around, throwing beats at Mardi Gras. And he's from Florida. This coach is a representative of him and his family and their love for that era and that area and that kind of party. This one, a very humble couple, a loving grandma and grandpa, very young grandma and grandpa that still work. And these are the colors of their company. And then I added some extra flair in the pattern and in some of the badging and some of the branding. Obviously, they've seen the paint job when it came in. They're about 2 weeks from coming to get it.
And they really pushed you on the customization aspect on the interior. Yep. We're gonna take a look at that in a moment, but behind you, I want to talk a little bit about the lighting here. So I'm noticing behind you this backlit Millennium badge.
Yep.
And then also, when we look down the side of these coaches, this belt rail lighting. I haven't seen anybody else in the industry doing that. I believe that's a Millennium first.
That's a Millennium first, and that's a Millennium only, exclusive. So everything you'll see throughout is going to be something that we have done, we've created. Again, listening to our customers, this actual rubber lighting came from a Canadian customer. We're very big in Canada. We export more converted Prevost into Canada than any other of the other converters combined.
About half of your parking lot is Canadians right now. I saw a lot of Canadian plates out there today.
Well, and you just witnessed that deal that just happened just maybe 30 minutes ago. It was some French, English. Basically, we talked about a deposit, and he walked away and said thank you. Right? That was basically how they do work.
I just watched the man sell a high dollar coach, 2027 or 28? I know.
28.
Wow.
He's already driving a 25, so he's ready for the 28. He's just waiting for a number so he can send me a deposit.
Yeah, I think some of these owners change these coaches more often than I change my shoes, but hey, if they've got the checkbook to back it up, more power to them.
You got it. So the lights came from one of those customers. What if? Or could you, or would you, or I need. Those are trigger words for me. He asked me, wouldn't that be nice if I had some lights on my rub rails? They're so boring. You'll be different. When they came to pick up their coaches, so there it is. I said, any good businessman, especially Canadians, he wants a royalty. He wants me to pay him back for every one I build. So that started in 24. We've been doing it since then.
Yeah, well, really looks great, and you've got them on all three of these coaches, so now that's standard on every Millennium?
That's standard on every Millennium.
Or at least the H's, the X's?
No, the H's are only on the H's, the X's are not.
You do build some X's. Not all of the Prevost converters convert the X's as well, but you do those?
Yeah, because we are not ultra custom. You know, I'm gonna come in and listen to you, and you'd be amazed how many people are going from H's to X's. They're closet XL lovers. And they come out and they're like, okay, I am trading my quad slide H for a brand new XL, please. And I try to talk him into, you know, show him the differences, and boy, I tell you, they're sold. And we just delivered one today, and now we have one on the line now being built.
And we're gonna do another video on some of the pre-owned inventory, but we witnessed a gentleman trading in a 2020 single slide X. That's a coach I get extremely excited about. I wanna make sure I heard that price right. That's a whole nother video on that, but what did you say the price?
That was $1,050,000.
$1,050,000 for a 2020 with the certified Millennium warranty.
Yep.
We did a whole video about that. Millennium zeroes these coaches out. We're talking brand new tires. Even if it came in with year-old tires, they're putting brand new tires.
New batteries, no excuses. When you leave here, you don't have to look back, and I don't have to make excuses. And I don't have to explain, well, it's old, it's only a year old. I don't have to do any of that. This is all gonna happen.
Yeah, well, as soon as that pre-owned video gets edited and live, we're gonna make sure that that's in the description of this video. You're gonna wanna watch this whole video because Nelson's about to show us some really cool stuff. But I've gotta ask you, before we take a look inside of some of these coaches, how much money are you commanding for a brand new quad slide Millennium coach?
Right now, last one that we sold was for $2.6 million.
2.6 million. Now that's MSRP, or do you do the dance? That's the real price.
That is the real price. We don't do the whole 3 million and bring me a horse, or bring me your 72 Pontiac, I'll give you $1 million for it. No, our number is our number. We're not gonna nickel and dime you on the options, but then again, you're gonna get your value for it.
I've seen how your customers are pushing you. I don't think you like to say no, and at $2.6 million, you probably gotta be careful because you could dump a lot of man hours into these coaches.
Yeah, we're pushing almost 12,000 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's before it's painted, and that paint can range from anywhere from 1,000 to 1,200 hours in any paint job.
Well, that's not even including the time to build the shell, too. Do you know how many man hours go into just building the shell before you get it?
Last time I checked, I think it was right under 2,000 hours, like 1,900 hours per shell. And that is, you know, I think I'm on the high side. I think it's a little bit less than that. I think that it takes longer to paint than to build.
It doesn't surprise me, especially with all of the cool effects you guys are doing these days.
Yeah, when we start painting through the windows and adding fiberglass trim and caps and painting that. But, you know, at the end, you end up with an amazing product.
Well, I think that folks are going to really like to see the finished product. Do you think we could take a look inside of some of these coaches?
100%, let's go.
Now, this quad slide really caught my eye. Looks like some more underglow lighting than we saw, or maybe it's just turned on, but little blue lights right here as well as the blue lights below the coach.
So trying to embrace that blue color, right? So then we're gonna have some handle blue lights, and then undercarriage blue lights, but also you're gonna have some lights underneath this light out that are flush mounted.
Yeah.
And that is also a Millennium exclusive. This type of light, no one else in the Prevost industry is doing that. We cut those on the CNC, we make our own light fixtures.
I'm noticing something else you did that I did not see on the other coaches. This coach has the paint job goes through the bay handles, but some of them, like this one next door, is still plastic. And I know there's a significant cost to painting those handles. Is that an option, or how does that work?
That's a great question. In this particular one, we felt we needed to do that. right? This customer did not care for the painted handles because he's had them before, and they are a little bit of extra maintenance.
Yeah, that's probably got to be like close to 50 man hours, I would bet, just to paint those handles.
You're close.
Yeah, a lot of thought goes into all of these little details.
Every coach has Starlink, and you see this is a Ring camera. So this is tied to their phone anywhere in the world. You can ring, they can see on their phone, just like at home, basically.
And
right?
Starlink is standard on all your new coaches?
Starlink is standard on anything I sell.
And we talked about it in the pre-owned video. Every certified Millennium coach has Starlink now as well?
100%. Yeah,
Awesome.
that's the way of the future. And there are some customers that are fighting it. They don't want it. And I still do it because eventually they'll come around. Just like Tyron, the tire protection bands, it's standard on every Millennium too.
And I don't know if I've ever seen those on any of the other product over $2 million, but that's a pretty significant expense to put those bands inside of the steer tires in case of a blowout. It's going to help keep the vehicle much more stable. And is that something that if someone has an older Millennium or an older Prevost and they want to have those installed, can you do that here at Millennium?
100%. We have the tire equipment. We stock. We're one of the largest, users of that product here. We always keep it in stock, and 100%.
Yeah, huge safety feature. If you don't already have Tyron tire bands, I would recommend stopping by Millennium coaches, get a service appointment to get those put on, and then maybe hang out here. It could get real expensive hanging around here and trading in for a new one.
Well, come on. Yeah, come on, get your bands, and maybe you leave with that new Millennium.
You never know. Well, this one I think is already sold.
It is sold. Lara and I took it out to a little gathering out in Louisiana, and we were able to find a buyer there. We're very happy and very proud for them. They're super excited. So now it's back home. We're redoing some bays. They travel with a lot of equipment and musical instruments and things like that. So we're customizing the bays for their family's needs.
Okay, well, even though it's already spoken for, do you think the new owners would care if we took the folks on YouTube inside?
I think they would be delighted. Yeah, come on in.
I think you guys are going to like this one.
Right. So right away, you can see it's a very well lit stairway. This has got a dark dash. We use the Prevost standard dash, and then we brand it with the Millennium brand. We make our own handrails, and we paint them here in-house because we do have the paint shop. But yeah, come on in.
Nelson, the interior of this coach has an incredible feel. I can tell you and your team have been really raising the bar. What's going on in this coach?
So here, a lot of things are happening here. We're transitioning from the classic look. We don't want to be super contemporary, but modern. And so that means a little square, waterfall edges, lighter leathers, not total white, right? Not hospital white. Couple of shades darker than that. And using that Lux Gold accessories and hardware, our customers are asking for that. Backsplashes are a big thing. The tile with metal inserts, the seating, because we build our own furniture, we can basically do anything. The customers have been asking for the 2 recliners set up with the TV, that folds, pops up behind the sofa. Now this sofa is a pull-out bed, and that one, it's got an air mattress. And now, of course, the TV will fold down. We also have the TV up front, big kitchen. Going through is a super slide. It's a bathroom and a half, very light and open. So we want it to be welcoming, and we want it to be fresh. It's a fresh approach to something that has been created before.
Yes, sir, very fresh. And this floor plan is a lot different than a lot of the other Prevost motorhomes we've been in, having the galley on the driver's side and then the theater seats and booth up front here. But I really like having that large open view on your patio side there. And then, that TV on the televator can go down to get you that view on the driver's side as well. Now, how many different floor plans can you do in a quad slide? And what are some of the challenges that you face that would prevent some of the other converters from doing this style of a floor plan?
We have multiple different floor plans. When we build a show coach, like this one started as a show coach, we are going to do the best of the best, right? The best materials, the floor plan that we know works, the most popular, fixtures and finishes. Where it becomes a custom coach is, the seating arrangement. And then ultra custom is when we start putting bikes in the bay and ice cream makers and margarita machines down below. In this particular particular case, we just kept hearing this Class A owners that are coming out of Newmar, and they are missing their TV and their televator, right? That's the only thing they can talk about that they miss. So because we built the challenges to us, actually the challenges to the industry is that they buy furniture from a third-party vendor. They can't build what I'm building. I'm building this furniture in-house. So I took that opportunity. I bought the frames. I do my own chairs. I do my own recliners, upholster them here. We make our own box for the TV. We make our own sofa. So those are not challenges for us, but for anybody else would be in the Prevost industry. When we come back to, what makes this coach special, that J Lounge is also custom built here, but it's got all the features that the customers are asking for. So we're listening to our customers. This setup right here is becoming very popular, and now to the point that we were building a show coach, and right before we finished it, the customer asked, "Hey, I saw this. Can you build this in a show coach? If you do that, we'll buy it." Guess what? We said, absolutely we can. And that's what we're doing. We're changing that. Not changing it because we had not built the furniture yet. We're making them 2 recliners and a TV.
And talking about building custom furniture, you just showed me something in a different motorhome that no one else has custom built before. I think that's worth maybe taking a trip, a couple coaches over to another 26. But I want to show you guys the rest of this coach because this is incredible. But do you mind if we take a walk over next door to show them what's going on a couple coaches over?
100%. I'm so excited to show you that.
No one's ever done this in the Prevost industry. I think you guys are going to like this. I know you do a lot of custom stuff here, but these last few projects are probably some of your coolest custom stuff you've ever done?
Oh, we always do something cool, but this is what's here today, right? That you get to see is super cool.
Now we're gonna go inside that other coach and show you that in a second, but check this out, guys.
So here, customer, it's like a big challenge. Put the bike, bay 1, on a 4-slide coach with a flat floor. So we were able to accomplish that, no problem. It was like it was made for it.
Unbelievable. Is that an Indian motorcycle? Or
that is a Harley.
It is a Harley, okay, yeah.
And it's a specific Harley. I'm not a big Harley guy, so I don't know the model, but I know that we have to put the handlebars down. We got a place for everything. We have a little battery charger, a little tender, a winch in the back to just one person, can bring it in.
And you did this on a pre-owned coach, so this gentleman traded in the 04, the famous Tiger coach. Yeah. But this is a 2023, did you say?
2023. The previous owner had a full kitchen set up in here. We took all that, redid the floors, and basically went back and added the winch, the ramps, and there it is. The bike fit just like a glove.
So probably not quite as expensive as people would think to put in the winch and the ramps?
that was part of the deal. Little things like that, I'm not gonna start nickel and diming the customer. That was like, I just made the deal.
I see your owners out here. I think they get some pretty good negotiations with you. I think if they come hang out, you're willing to make them a deal?
100%. Well, you just saw a little earlier.
I think I saw it. Was that a deal that just happened?
That was a deal that just happened, just like that.
Did you just sell a 28 or 27?
It's gonna be a 28. So actually it was sold 2. If the guy that was in the cart, in the little electric scooter, he's telling me to go ahead and sign the paperwork, and then the other French gentleman, he's like, okay, I'll take the first one and call me with the price and I'll send you a deposit.
No, there was a translator. I literally just witnessed this in between filming. Really cool. You've got a lot of the French Canadians like hanging out here at Millennium. You're popular with them.
Well, we're one of the largest exporter into Canada of the Prevost product. We service all the way into Canada. We take care of them all the way there. And they know that we're going to stand behind our product. They like what we build. They like us. They like our team. They feel welcome, and we love them too.
I know you've got a great relationship with Prevost. They're out of Quebec, Canada as well. So I can appreciate that partnership.
Oh, yes, it's amazing. That 25 years now that we're celebrating, that's been a great relationship. Steve Sigler has held me by the hand throughout the whole 25 years and encouraging me to be better every time and giving me opportunities that most times I didn't deserve. But he believed in me. I believed in my team, and here we are.
I know you've learned a lot over those 25 years, and you've come up with some really cool stuff like what we're going to see in this next coach over here.
Oh, it's amazing.
I could not believe when I saw this. Now, you told me about it.
Well, we're going to walk through it first real quick.
I'm looking forward to seeing inside of this coach. Right away, if we can get a close-up of this entryway, I mean, with this like kind of cognac color leather pattern on the front door, and then that mosaic tile work here, just an incredible feeling as soon as we enter the coach.
It's open and it's light, and now this is a custom coach. It has a double bunk, plus it's got a sleeper sofa. It's a 4-slide with a bath and a half. It actually has 2 coffee makers.
And I don't think you guys are gonna be able to find the bunk. Let's take a quick look through this. Let's see if you guys can find the bunks here.
Come on in.
This coach has a lot of room here. This is a quad slide.
Quad slide, bath and a half. It was custom built for this very, very cool couple that travels with their grandkids. They're all about the grandkids, right? They're teaching me about, you know, me, my new grandpa, well, you know, my granddaughter now, 4 years old, and we're still getting used to that grandpa feeling. But, you know, I'm learning a lot of lessons from them. They are just all about the kids, about Disney, about traveling with them. So they have some specific requirements. They also work when they're, you know, they're still working. They work when they're on the road. So that work, you know, play balance, the coach is helping them do that. I mean, anything from the large format tile with the wood insert. That was a really complicated endeavor because we had to match the wood veneer to the floor. And, you know, I'm big into porcelain floors, but the bamboo floors is what, you know, is going to be more durable than a coach. But finding a bamboo floor that matches this wood was a challenge, and the ladies in the design room came through with it. Once we start building, you know, it's no stopping, you know, and I get excited when I can't wait for them to see it. I keep sending them little clips and videos, and they're so pumped that they're coming in another week to come and get it.
Yeah, I can imagine how exciting it's going to be for them to take delivery. Now, are these heated floors?
They are. So every Millennium since day one, every Millennium has heated floors.
So having wood and tile, that's got to get a little tricky, I can imagine.
It is. So it's all in the underlayment. We have different layers, how we build our floors, how we embed the floor heat onto the actual Prevost floor, and then we build from there. So it's radiant heat, so we are able to come up with that.
Yeah, so really nice coach here. Bunk floor plan, but as we get here to the middle of the coach, where's the bunks at? I'm not seeing any bunks.
I'm going to show you the bathroom first. This is the half bathroom, and we added the frosted glass just to add some light and texture to this hallway. And dude, this is an aft bed. We looked at a center bed where there was a cabinet on either side of the bed. Now this is an aft bed, right? The windows are center on the bed, but it's aft. The big closet is in front of the slide out. So now we can get to all our closets with the slide outs in.
Yeah, you can almost do a yoga lesson here at the front end of the bedroom here. A lot of floor space.
So that is because of the aft bed situation, right? Now, what else do we get? Now we get some real big drawers and some really big hanging closets. This is all the little extras that we are waiting for them to locate. New sheets, full king size bed.
Well, and it's cool to, the safe hidden in this closet here. And I like seeing this. In a moment, we're going to see another brand new coach that's going to have a different variation like what we were just talking about. So it's cool to see the different configurations if you want a bigger closet or if you want 4 closets like the one we're about to see.
Yep.
But still a bath and a half. I'm still not seeing any bunk beds.
Oh, you'll get to them.
Now, you know, down here you've got some maybe
shoe storage. We still have our laundry storage in the back. Now we oversized this countertop because it still works. So this is going to be his desk in the mornings, right? Actually, they both work, the same company, right? They're business owners, so they will be working here. They'll close that door. The kids are going to be up front. They even have their own coffee maker back here in the bathroom.
Well, I got to see this.
Oh yeah, remember full king size bed, 76 by 80. And now, how do you know you have a king size bed? If you go to the store, you buy king size sheets and they fit. That's when you have a king size bed.
Yes, sir.
So back here, there's their coffee maker.
Yeah, we're starting to see that in the $1 million homes, putting coffee makers in the closet.
I don't know. I didn't think about that at my house. It's not $1 million house, but now, you know, and I keep repeating myself, but here, other converters will stick their equipment and their electronics and stuff back here. This is an actual closet. A good example of our water saver feature, our toilet, there's a rinse flush and a regular flush, and I can time it. So where most converters will do one flush, I have like the European toilets. I have two valves, 2 different systems, 2 valves, 2 flushes.
I'm looking forward to showing the folks the shower and that other coach we we're just looking at. But beautiful mosaic tile work here.
And now this is a true frameless shower. And what does that mean? There is no frame and it's all secured with the solid surface on either side. The hinge itself is self-closing. So in the way that the door opens, if you leave it unlocked, that's what's locking it, it's not going to come open during travel. Nothing is going to happen. Tempered glass. And this is a regular shower head. The other one it's a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, we'll see that in just a second.
Yeah, but it's, the same shower. The cubbies are part of our shower. Little step stool there, and waiting for them to come so we can place their shelf, because I didn't want a fold down bench. So we're going to put a shelf for them, like another seat.
Yes, sir, and I appreciate you having that frameless shower head, because I've been in a lot of coaches, even at a high dollar, over $1 million motorhomes, where it has a frame on that shower, and when I go to get in, I'm either hitting my head or ducking down, but
yeah.
I'm 6'2", plenty of room in this shower here, plenty of elbow space as well, and then I don't have to duck down.
Our showers, we call our water server shower. Because you can do two people at the same time.
Yes, sir.
Save water. And again, we're lovers of gravity, so there is no pumps anywhere. This is going to go from your shower into your gray water tank.
Less stuff that can break. Well, now, I thought this was a bunk coach.
Yeah, it still is a bunk coach. So let's go and take a look at that. We're talking about a bunk house, right? And I did see a video of you showcasing a Class A with a bunk sofa. And that is not what we're talking about here. That was something, totally different. What I'm about to show you is an actual double bunk, 72 inches wide, industrial strength. We can make the sofas also for a home. So we buy the frame, we take it apart, and we do our own upholstery, any kind of design. I'm gonna go ahead and deploy the bed. Let me just pull those two cushions. Normally these cushions will stay put. You don't have to remove them because the sofa design, we made the cushions a little thicker than normal, but what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna basically lock it. It's got a little key here. And now I'm gonna turn this. I'm gonna turn that, there you go. I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do this. And there you are. And now we are locked. We're locked and loaded. I have a little safety key here. 300 pounds capacity. The two cushions will fit in the back, and that was a 30-second deployment.
Well, and this is, it was literally right at 30 seconds. I actually had my timer on,
really?
But this is industrial. I mean, you could tell by the framework of this. Now, do you mind if I lay on it to try it out?
Please do.
Out of respect for the new owner's grandchildren, I don't want to, but I guess they're not the paying customers.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try it. Now, I could tell it's a high-quality mattress, but I'm 6'2", and this is, like, surprisingly a more comfortable mattress. I would have thought it would have been, like, flimsy or shaky, like it's very firm.
And it's actually strapped down because there's so much movement. There's a seat belt on that mattress.
Oh, wow.
Right? So like this one, if you can see that, they're strapped down because there's so much movement on this mattress. This is a European manufacturer. We buy the frame, and actually we're distributors. We buy in bulk, and then we stock it here in the US, and then we also offer it for residential. For the folks in the RV, world, they have a casita, need a sofa that looks good, that needs to be custom with their own upholstery, custom made, custom upholstered. We can do that too.
So if I wanted to buy one of these for my guest room in my house at home, could that be done?
You can call me and
really,
absolutely, I'll do it for you.
Now I know there's a lot of variables when you start to get into these Italian leathers or something. If I'm on a budget, I'm okay with the pleather or the lower end stuff. What do you think entry level? Because I actually I have a guest room that this would actually be perfect for, because I wouldn't use it for sleeping often. But what do you think I'm looking at money-wise
So entry level, meaning just a cloth, around 10 grand. When we start putting leather and doing custom leather, that can go all the way up to 18,000.
What about shipping? Is this something that could just go in a truck?
And 100%. Yeah,
wow.
It comes created in a box, and it's basically out of the box into your space. Deploy.
I didn't think I was going to be going furniture shopping at Millennium Luxury Coaches, but
there you go.
I mean, if you want a super high-end piece of furniture, though, for your coach house or your house, great opportunity for not a lot of money. Or if you want to just build a brand new custom motor coach, you can come see Nelson as well and put it in your motorhome.
100%. So now we're building coaches that will accept this sofa, right? This is what makes a coach custom too. We can do things like that and something that works and something that grandma or grandpa can put together and utilize. And it's not in your way. Now, when you're done, you can put it back to a sofa and then you're done.
Now, if someone has a pre-owned Millennium coach and they want to have something like this put in, I'm sure depending on the size of the galley and it could get complicated, but would you be able to put this in a pre-owned Millennium?
I would be able to put this on a pre-owned Millennium if they had the J Lounge on that side. If the galley was on this side and the J Lounge was on that side with a little table in between that and the sofa, 100%.
And I'm sure it's going to get more expensive than 10 grand when you start customizing it for a motorhome. A lot more work.
Oh yeah,
involved.
so this is not the standard. So there's bracketry, some reinforcements. I have to attach to the framing of the slide out because, I have to get that 300-pound certification and testing, right? I don't want this thing to fall off or to flip over. It definitely has been tried and improved.
Well, really cool technology. I think we're going to start seeing these in maybe more motorhomes or more people's homes because it's such a great use of space. And then when you're done sleeping, fold it back down and you've got opposing sofa.
You asked me earlier, what are the challenges for me when I do things like this? Well, I really don't have many. Because I do everything in-house. We have a very open mind and we have very great technicians and engineers and people that really take a challenge like this and want to make it work. So I have no challenges, right? Now, I think that everyone else in the industry will have a challenge because they're third-party vendors, right? They have to go to a third-party vendors like the Class A, like those Newmarts. That was a third-party, RV manufacturer.
Not even close to that's like a Volkswagen Beetle versus a Bentley. It wasn't even in the same league.
Yeah. So no challenge there. When I've been working on this for a year, with the help of the customer, he wants me to call it after his name, Mr. and Mrs. Campbell. So this is the Campbell bunk.
Hey,
so
named after Mr. and Mrs. Campbell.
Yeah. So if you want a sofa bunk, you need to ask for a Campbell bunk.
From now on, anytime I see one of these, I'm going to refer to it as the Campbell bunk because they were the first to do it in the Prevost.
Yep,
So.
there's the ones that pushed me to do it. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, as cool as this coach is, I'm really excited about that other coach that we started to take a look at. You mind if we take a look back at that coach?
No, let's do it.
Yeah, you've got all kinds of cool stuff going on here. I think we could just follow you around with a camera all day, every day and never get bored. But what else is going on? We were talking about a little bit of this coach. What else is going on in this coach?
We're doing the kitchen or the galley. On the opposite side, we're doing an oversized sink.
Is that gold or bronze?
That is a metal, but it's that Lux Gold finish, right, to go with all the fixtures. This one has a extra beverage cooler, so when you have your drinks in, some people store tequila in there, right? A nice bottle of good tequila, cold is good. So you don't have to go in your refrigerator all the time. One of the things that we really like about our kitchens is the way that we manage our trash. We have a lot of storage, and you see how much deeper that kitchen is. If I mount it on this side, I'm going to be limited to about 24, 25 inches because we're dealing with a flat floor and some mechanisms here. Here I got a deeper slide, so I'm going to make a deeper kitchen. So when that happens, I'm going to end up with a lot bigger drawers, right? A bigger kitchen. And here,
oh, cool.
So multi-purpose, like because of the space, and now bring it back to the marine or aviation industry, one thing will do multiple things, right? And this is part of what we're doing here. Big drawers, everywhere you go. When you see a drawer in a Millennium, you know it's gonna be a big drawer. This is one of this new slide outs, so it's got a double stack bearing. Now, most converters will build, did you see this little bump out here? This is my way to get back in there and do service to that bearing. But most converters will build that galley to this spot here. Well, what happens is if you build it to that spot, when you bring it in, it's going to be right in your hallway. We do a retractable access. It hides that. This is going to become flush with the slide to navigate that double stack bearing. And then we're done. You know, the slide out is going to come into here. You still have a clear hallway. The veneer here is European, so it's a high gloss. And it looks black, but it's got an undertone of brown.
Yeah, and I like the gold picture frames. It looks like you've got the registration for a Millennium rally that's coming up soon.
We had this at a show and we just sold it. We went to meet some of our friends, our Cajun friends out at Cajun Palms there in Broad Bridge. And we were advertising our 25th anniversary. We are turning 25 years old this year. Our rally's going to be in February. We have an open house. Anybody that'd like to come, you know, check out the website, and we have some information there for that.
Yeah, congratulations on 25 years. I saw an old picture in your guest waiting area. You've grown up a little bit since you started.
Well,
this.
A little bit more weight, a little bit less hair. Still got the scars to prove it that I've been there, done that, right?
A lot of lessons learned over those years, I can imagine.
Well, I think that you can relate.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're always learning every day.
Yeah.
Now, as we're standing here, I don't want to change the subject, but that accent wall is just over the top there. What's going on there? What are we looking at?
So right now we're looking at a glass tile. And now in order to put tile on a wall, how we build, this is a honeycomb aluminum wall. So the honeycomb aluminum is going to be able to hold the weight and you know, it's not going to flex with the glass tile. But if you walk through, this coach is full of amenities like that, little details. There's some lighting underneath the cabinets that's linear lighting, just because we want to accent some of this area indirect, right? Like even behind, light up the countertop without really blinding you. If you look in this bathroom, you know, it's going to be the same way.
Extremely bright. I love all of those gold accents.
Now, our pantry is going to be just as big. A separate drawer down here. We had a lot of customers that stored their big bottles here. They didn't want to open the whole door to get to their stuff. But everything is obviously locked, so it doesn't come open during travel. You have to push. Everything is done through the iPad, but I like manual backups. Military and Marine, that's where that is.
Well, and I've got to compliment you. One other thing you're doing, I like that you've got all these analog light switches here. I've seen some of the other companies going to all touch panels where it's like going through an iPhone where you might have to touch 2 or 3 panels to get to your specific light. I like this. Even on a brand new coach, you're not getting away with these switches?
I tell you, it drives me crazy. iPads are fun and they're really cool and they're the thing. But it drives me crazy to have to go to an iPad to turn on a light, to the point that you'll look at a handheld remote, right? So people go handheld. Now this is a smart handheld remote. I do have an iPad. Actually, I have 2 iPads in here. But at home, I go to my handheld before I go to an iPad. It works the same way, but I don't have to hold this thing. Now I'm watching TV at night in bed. I don't have this big screen, you know, shining in my face. I can control everything from lighting to shades to locks and things like that, you know, from the handheld.
Okay, so lots of different options.
Redundancy, yeah. So that's part of it. The Super Slide, again, it was a game changer. We do 2 options. We have a center bed, so the bed is going to be center of the slide out. Or we do an aft bed, which means the bigger closet in front of the bed. This one is a split, you know, same closet on either side of the bed. If you see, it's a nice little place to sit, but it's also a great place to store. When we bring this light out in, it goes right over that. I know that you have a cat and you have a dog too, right? I'm a cat lover myself.
Yes, sir.
And this coach, when we build Millenniums, we think about pets too. When you have a cat or a dog, a small dog, you have to be able to protect the cat from, you know how the cats like to hide, right? So we don't want, you know, especially when you bring this light out in or out, you don't have a lot of holes where these animals are going to get through and try to hide, and then you have to talk him out, you know. I've heard some horror stories, customers trying to bribe their cats from underneath their bed.
Oh, yeah.
So everything is sealed. We call it cat proof. We're going to go over and still going to be cat proof. This one has a start ceiling.
Yeah, like a Rolls Royce here.
This is a celestial map. So I'll give you the map, and then your job is to, and there's an extra star.
Is that the Big Dipper right
That
there?
is the Big Dipper.
Wow.
Yes, yeah, and Saturn is up there too. So I'll give you a map, and there's Saturn.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I give you a map, and then that's something fun to do at night. You can stargaze and literally look for constellations.
I have not seen that in a motorhome yet. First to do it here at Millennium.
You got it. That was a customer one time asked for it, and we put it on the CNC, and my CNC operator designer is a little wackadoodle, so he absolutely came up with, let's do it like we're not going to just do random dots, we're going to do the real deal, and then gave me the maps, and I love it. It's amazing, and we've done it a couple of times.
Oh, it's really cool to hear all the different ideas your owners come up with, and as long as they've got the checkbook to back it up, you guys don't like saying no.
No, and and the best engineers are our customers. Anywhere from where to store your CPAP machine to star sealing. This is something that when they come in, they go, I was not expecting it, or more than I expected.
Yes, sir. Now this is a quad slide, but this feels really large. Did you say these are both the super slides?
Super slides, yeah. So it's always going to be the same on both sides. Super slides, and then we have the retractable bed. Now this is a regular king size bed, 76 by 80, and we're the only ones doing it standard. If you have to have special sheets for your bed, that is not a regular bed. This is a bed that you can buy sheets anywhere and they fit, right?
Okay, yeah, it just feels so large in here. I don't know if I've ever been in a quad slide with this super suite. I know there's a lot of restrictions that you and the other Prevost converters have to make everything work with the slide positioning, but man, this is an incredible feel. I would bet this is one of your more popular quad slide floor plans?
100%. Once in a while, I'd throw in a double slide or an X3, built that non-slide, as you saw earlier. So I build anything, but my go-to is going to be that quad, bath and a half, or super slide on the forward position. I can do pretty much anything from there. There are some keep out zones on our floor plan because of our exhaust through the roof. Our 20 kW generator radiator is also on the roof, so we have to take all that into account and where we run it. So right behind the refrigerator, or on the back side of the refrigerator, is where we run those stacks through.
Yeah, and a lot of storage in this. It looks like, are these all closets?
And Andrew, if you see, as we're getting a little older, right, lighting is important. So, and again, drawers.
So the drawers are lit as well?
They're not lit, but we're capturing some of our overhead lighting.
Yes, sir.
Right, but the depth is like, they're not fake drawers, they're real drawers. And a lot of space for drawers. Even next to the bed, we have some regular sized drawers for trinkets and things like that. This closet, it's gonna be mimic on the other side of the bed. And like I said, this cabinet is here for a couple of reasons. Obviously storage, but when you have a CPAP machine, we make CPAP storage up here. We have a deployable mask storage that we just touch a latch. And like on an airplane, you have that oxygen machine that drops. You put yours on before you put the child's on. That's right above whichever side.
Yeah, very cool. So there's outlets, and then it's all pre-plumbed for that as well.
Sir.
So 4 total closets, very well lit, deep. Again, nice drawer space, countertop space on both sides of the bed.
Yep.
This is an incredible floor plan with this much storage, this much space, and then having the quad slides and a king size bed with a bath and a half.
We're hitting all cylinders, and that's when people come in. Oh, quad, we don't have storage. This solves a lot of problems, needs that most people will have.
Yeah, and I've got to compliment these sconce lights here back behind the bed, tucked behind the pillows back there, but a really cool design.
So here, some customers have asked for something different back here. We do our work. This particular one has the high-end wall covering that we have wrapped around wood, and then just apply it again. Honeycomb material. Every bulkhead in here is going to be that aluminum material that you see on the production line. Pocket doors, full mirrors on both sides. When you walk in the rear bathroom, one of the things that that you'll see or won't see is our toilet. I hate when you walk in a bus and then you look down the hallway and all you see is the toilet tipping out of the front of the wall. Here you're not. We have built it thinking about that. I don't see my toilet from my driver's seat. When we get back here, you'll see the backlit countertop. Now this is an LED panel, so there is no heat emanating from the LED panel. Again, a bidet toilet. And this shower is one of my favorites because it's a rain shower, but it's built into the ceiling. It's got a bunch of modes. It's an overkill. Lara laughs at me when I talk about it. You have a small child, your pet. It's got a spigot down here for washing something lower, body sprays, and then of course the rain shower, handheld, Bluetooth. It'll play music, you name it.
And beautiful tile work therein, and a teak seat. That overhead shower head's got to be really nice. And I also want to point out that there's no step up here into the rear bathroom. A lot of the other motorhomes, you've got to, if you get up in the middle of the night, you got to remember there's a little step up going into your rear bathroom. So I like flat floors throughout.
And that's part of the Prevost, build, of course, putting the shower back here. Now we're all gravity drained, right? So there's nothing underneath the bed. There's no equipment underneath the bed. When you open your closets, you have linen closets. So there's no equipment behind closed doors. We're not going to be worrying about any of that. Everything is down in the bay. Anything that we have to work on is going to be down in the bays.
I'm sure folks can appreciate that. If a technician has to come out and the wife wants to take a shower while the guys are working on it, that could get a little frustrating.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't want it in my coach, so we don't do it in, we don't do it in anybody else's coach. So we got to treat this motorhome as an extension of your house. So you see there's no red lights or green lights or panels or labels that say don't do this or beware or don't, and warnings and blah blah blah. None of that. You walk in this bus, figure out where the parking brake is and if you like your neighbors or not.
Yes sir, yes sir, that's the goal.
As long as you have the keys and you have fuel in the tank, you have some water, let's go. We're going to move.
It's time. You worked hard to get to this point. Now it's time to enjoy it.
It's supposed to be relaxing and recreational, but it's also a lifestyle, right? Why do we want to make it stressful? We need to make this an enjoyable experience. For that, if it's going to be stressful and it's going to be something that you have to remember and you have to be aware of, stay home. Why do it, right? So we want to make it as seamless as possible. And that's the feedback that I get from our customers. And some that have moved from other coaches. They go, we walk in our Millennium now and it's like, I'm having withdrawals. I'm feeling I'm not doing something right because I'm not turning things off and on. I'm just walking in. And they're looking for that red button, or they're looking for that label. They're looking for something. It's fun to say, calm down. It's okay, you're home. Just think about your house. Your breaker panel is in your garage. How many times you go to your breaker panel? Never. You never go, it's in your garage. This is where your breaker panel is in this bus. It's in the garage. You never have to talk about it unless there's a problem when you're doing service. That's bottom line.
Yeah, that makes sense. And, I've met a lot of Millennium owners over the years that really appreciate all of the thought that you and your team put into these coaches. And it's incredible to see how long these coaches are on the road. I know you talk about these coaches like they're your children, but there's a lot of them, these 20-year-old coaches are still running around.
Larry and I we took this coach, we were staying in it. We had one of the latest Millenniums there, and here rolls our very first Millennium, the very first one rolls in. And Larry and I had no idea, and one of the other participants figured it out. So we invited them to this little gathering. So we had the latest Millennium and the first Millennium all at once, out of the blue. That was the most incredible moment.
Oh, that's incredible, especially on your 25th anniversary. Yeah. That's got to be cool. Did you get a picture of both of them side by side?
We didn't. They were there for just one night, but they were all excited because they wanted to hear history. They wanted, the couple was really interested. They thought that they had their very first one, but they weren't sure. But it's, that's 25 years ago, right? When I was able to explain all the hurdles that we went through and all the extras and remembering what happened and what we did and how we did it. They were all excited. They wanted to write a story and all that, but they were limited on time, and we were, with another group, so it was fun.
Oh, you've got a lot of stories. I could keep this camera going for a long time and keep hearing your stories. Now, I do want to tell the folks about last time we were here. We did a video sharing Nelson's story about the history of Millennium luxury coaches, and that's an incredible video. Didn't get a ton of views, but the people that did see that really enjoyed hearing your stories. So we're going to make sure to leave that in the description below. But if someone wants to custom order or purchase a brand new Millennium coach or one of your pre-owned inventory, you said this coach is already sold?
This one is already spoken for you.
It's a done deal?
Oh, money's in the bank and actually spent. Right now, we're just tweaking it. We're gonna do some bay work, customize the bays for the couple that bought it, and do some tweaks. And it'll be on the road here. December 7th is delivery date.
Very exciting. That's coming up soon. Now, are there any other new coaches coming through your production process that are going to be available?
So yeah, right now we have a show coach that's going to be our Tampa Super Show. We call her Mustang Sally. It's got some beautiful reds and silvers. Beautiful interior that's in our production line. And then we have some stuff that's coming down that's being painted right now. So we always have something in the show coach side. Normally those turn into custom coaches at some point. Of course, our ultra custom stuff that we're building right now, which, I can't wait to show you.
Yeah, and if someone wants to do something, ultra custom, kind of starting from the ground up, what's the next build slot you have, and what type of deposit does someone need to hold that space, and how does that whole process work to get that ball rolling?
So that's super easy. I'm old school kind of, builder. I'm gonna take $100,000 up front, and the balance is at the end. The next slot is gonna be, delivery will be September of next year.
Okay. Now, I'm sure if folks get super crazy with the customization, you would have to adjust that deposit to cover
100%. So that the 100,000 is to just get you that slot. When we start designing and we start talking about what you want, from the paint to floor plan layout, it goes up from there, and then of course time. So it's all time and money.
So if I wanted to have my Millennium painted bright pink or bright yellow, you might need a little extra deposit to cover it in case I back out and you have to repaint it?
100%. But you know what? If it's a cool looking pink, I might forgive you for that.
Oh, and on that note, we saw an orange coach earlier today, and I've never really thought that I'd be that attracted to an orange coach. What a beautiful coach. I'm actually fans of the channel that are longtime followers of the channel.
They actually came to the Prevost world because of you.
Hey, don't shoot the messenger.
Well, I know, that's what you told them. They were all excited to meet you.
Yeah, no, really, really awesome folks. I'm glad I got to meet them, and they had that paint job was an inspiration from an Arizona sunset.
Yep.
And we talked a little bit about that in a custom video that we did showing the whole Millennium build process and factory tour. So as soon as that video is done, we'll leave that in the description below. We'll also leave that video on your story in the description below.
Awesome.
And then if someone wants to get the ball rolling, who should they get a hold of to buy one of these coaches?
Just reach out to me through sales at mlcy.com or www.mlcy.com.
Or millenniumluxurycoaches.com.
Yeah.
Awesome, Nelson. Well, I greatly appreciate your time, sir.
Hey, appreciate you, man.
Yeah, and thanks to all of you following and sharing. We hope you're all having a great day. Thanks again.
Thank you. That's a Millennium first, and that's a Millennium only, exclusive.
I have not seen that in a motorhome yet. First to do it here at Millennium.
You got it.